Okay, we are charting the higher octave with Joan Wasser, also known as Joan as Police Woman, all the way from New York City. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to thank you for being with me in the early morning, all
Great
the
to
way
be
from New
here.
York. Yeah, I feel like I've known you already because, talking with Dave Derby, we were just, I know you were part of the Dambuilders. He spoke very highly of you, talking about your music and your violin, like kind of taking the lead at one point, such a great part of the band. I love the violin. I love the way the violin sounds. When a band has a violin, I just look at it from a different angle, because it's so beautiful. Such a beautiful. It's kind of like it really takes you to the heart, the soul.
It can.
Especially the way you play it, right? It depends on how you play it.
That's for
But
sure.
but your music has always stood out to me because it's so emotionally honest and raw. It makes you feel that way. That's why it's no surprise that major publications like the Times have called you the coolest woman in pop, and The Economist named you one of the 21st century's best musicians. So I'd love to talk to you about your journey, especially about. I know you have a new album coming out. It's called Real Life Evolution, and this is actually tracks from the original debut album that you recreated again. I guess gave it a new life again.
That's right.
And it's going to be released on,
June
which is,
12th.
yeah, June 12th.
Yeah,
And interestingly, the debut album was also released on June 12th of 2006, I believe. Yeah.
exactly 20 years later. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you plan it that way, or it's just
Of
something?
course. That
Oh,
doesn't just happen on its own.
was there something significant about that date?
That was when the first album was released.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. So, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about yeah, what your music has always been emotionally raw and honest to me. So, has there been any specific moment when you realized that being emotionally vulnerable was actually your greatest strength as an artist?
Yeah. I mean, that is what I love in a lot of music myself that I
Hmm.
listen to. I think it's quite easy to hear when an artist is staying at the surface,
Hmm.
and not connecting completely. And I want to make music that touches people, not just myself. And I know that the only way to do that is to work on getting to the very heart of whatever it is that you're trying to get across, taking away the things that you think will make it look better or seem more palatable, just leaving what is, leaving the distilled version. Um, I know that that will connect with the people that the song is made for.
Yeah, you mentioned also in this particular album, you said that at the time you made the original Real Life, you felt compelled to put everything into that one record because you couldn't imagine making another album after it. What were you going through emotionally that made you feel that way?
Well, I never released an album, so I had no idea.
Mm.
That you only make one first album.
Oh.
I had made an EP, a 5-song EP that I really, it was like the first songs I had ever written. And I learned a lot in making that. And and so I I was recording real life over about a year, maybe a year and a half, while on the road with Rufus Wainwright. And it was all the songs that I never thought I could write uh, in in one collection. And I don't do a lot of future planning. I think it's always I think, when people say, "Oh, what do you want to be doing in 5 years?" I feel like any idea of what I might have would be limiting
Mm-hmm.
what might happen. So when I released this album, I wasn't thinking I'll never make another one. I was just thinking I am now releasing my first album.
Yeah. And and
Let's
and
see what happens.
and
Yeah.
and this is one of obviously one of your, like, the album, because it's kind of like you brought it back.
It's an album that people really
Oh,
took
they.
to,
Mm-hmm.
and I have never stopped playing. Um, and you know, I think at that moment there were the climate of music was um, it was primed for this type of album.
Mm-hmm.
So, people ask for the songs all the time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But they have changed a lot. Some of them changed a lot. Some of them not so much. But
Mm-hmm.
but they have changed a lot over time, and I wanted to document that.
And there's other singers now, right? That were not in the debut album.
Nobody that played on the original plays on this.
Right, right. Completely different. Wow.
All new personnel.
Mm.
But many of the people I toured with for decades, Parker Kindred, I played with live for 15 years. And so he's all over the record. And then my trio that I've been playing with for coming up on 2 years are on a lot of the tracks. And then people that I knew way before I even started writing songs are on the record.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I particularly liked Flush
Hmm.
Chest. The title is amazing. Maybe can you explain the title a little bit?
Well, it comes from one of the lyrics.
Mm.
Greet me with flush chest again, morning bird, I'll wait for you.
Yeah, because I know you wrote that shortly after reading Martin Amis' Time's Arrow, which tells the story of a man's entire life in reverse, which is that's so deep, you know.
Yeah, and indeed, I took that idea, and that song is a telling of someone's life from the end to the beginning.
Yeah.
Thought it was such a beautiful idea. Martin Amis's book is not the subject matter is not very beautiful, but the idea I thought was really really smart, and so I used it for this song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like a movie, you know.
Hmm.
If you look at it that way, it's so deep like that. You're taking something from the reverse and going back. I mean, I see it like a film almost. You know, I know how you're singing it, but it's really it's very deep. And I particularly think you're one of those deep writers. You know, you're a deep artist. I know it's not shallow music. I mean, there's some artists that can be shallow, right? You don't really. It's just like, okay, there's no particular depth to that kind of lyrics. But I know you're different from that.
Thank you. I
Mm.
really, really care about the
I
the
know,
word.
yeah, yeah. Lyrics are so important to me. I really look. I mean, a lot of
Course.
people. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't really particularly care about lyrics. I don't know why. I think lyrics is so important because it tells a story, and I guess people relate to music in that way.
I mean, I think people certainly relate to music and listen to music in different ways. Um, when there's music playing, I'm listening to it. Even if I'm having a conversation, there's a part of me that's listening to it. And so therefore, I prefer silence in terms of, if this conversation had music over it, I wouldn't be able to concentrate. But I think
Mm.
a lot of other people use music to relax and can listen to music while they're doing other things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just different. I can't do that. So I mean, the fact that music can relax certain people and they don't care about the lyrics, that's also great. I'm not sure I make music for those people, but I'm glad that music can help people in a lot of different ways.
True, true.
Yeah.
So 20 years after the original Real Life, because the name is titled now Real Life Evolution. So what does that mean to you now? Because I know it's kind of evolved, right? It's like a rebirth of perhaps the way your life is now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like songs are living creatures, and once you
Mm.
release them, they go out and find their own life. I don't own them anymore. So, playing these songs over 20 years, they've really found different ways of existing. Um, for instance, Christabel is a song that I wrote right after I learned how to play guitar. And I shortly after that stopped playing guitar like that and honestly will never play guitar like that again. But people love that song. So I had to figure out a way to um, present that song without playing guitar like that. So I radically changed it. It was in 4/4. Now it's in 5/8. And it sort of has like a Steve Reichian type of ostinato that goes underneath. And often people don't recognize the song until the chorus. So, it's like I will find a way to play the song where it makes sense to me at this point in my life.
I know you're a multi instrumentalist. I know you play so you play the guitar, you play the keyboard, and also of course the violin. I know the violin was your first instrument, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get into the music in when as a child?
Yeah, my public school, it was the 70s. So my public school offered string instruments in third grade. So I was
Mhm.
8 and they sent everyone to the auditorium and musicians came and played the violin and the viol and the cello and the bass. And so that anyone from any socioeconomic background could play. You could rent an instrument for $10 a year. So I chose the most portable one,
Oh yeah.
violin, and just I really just took to it. I really liked it a lot. I feel like starting an instrument like the violin early enough to not feel like anything is difficult is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because that instrument is an incredibly difficult instrument. But when you're a kid, nothing is hard.
That's
It's
true.
just something, it's just a thing. It's like you're not judging it the same way you would as an adult. So I just really took to it, and I started taking private lessons on, because the teacher at the school, told my parents, she's good. You should maybe get her private lessons. And then, I just kept doing it and I really loved it. And I love classical music and I love the repertoire. So, that was going along with me going to punk rock shows and,
Yeah.
seeing Susie and the Banshees and Adam and the Ants,
Uh-huh.
in New York City. And yeah,
And
um, it was all music to me.
and you know, Dave Derby from the Dambuilders said that he was the one that contacted you, right, to join the band because of your
Yeah.
violin, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. How did you meet Dave?
Uh, Through a mutual friend.
Mhm. Back in Boston.
Yep. We were all going to school in Boston, and they had, there was this thing called the, it was like some battle of the bands.
Hmm. Oh,
And oh, I know, so cute. So cute. And they had previously had a violin player who left the band, and they had actually gotten themselves into this battle of the band without a violin player. So they were looking for someone to replace this person, maybe even just temporarily for this show. And so our mutual friend got in touch with me, and I remember going to the practice space, oh, in Medford or somewhere. And it just really clicking. It was just really fun. That the Dave and Eric are absolute delightful people.
yeah,
So it was a joy. It was really fun.
yeah. I know you've collaborated with so many legendary artists. Some of whom I'm a big fan of their work as well, like Lou Reed, John Cale, the Velvet Underground, of course, David Byrne, Talking Heads, David Gahan, of course, my Depeche Mode, David Sylvian. Oh my God, these guys are like intense. They're just amazing artists, and and then of course the one and only Iggy Pop. But is there one collaboration that genuinely changed the way you think about music or yourself as an artist?
Well, I made a record with Tony Allen, who is the drummer for Fela Kuti. I mean, he and Fela created the genre Afrobeat. So, Tony is widely regarded as one of the greatest drummers of all time. He passed away in 2020. But we met the year before and really just hit it off. We made some music together through Africa Express.
Hmm.
And which is a group of people that Damon Albarn from Gorillaz, Blur, um, put together. And Tony and I just immediately clicked. And, next time he lived in Paris, next time I was in Paris doing shows, I set up studio time, and I brought my friend Dave Okumu, bass player and guitar player, over from London, and we spent a night improvising and recording it all. And then COVID happened. I mean, I left the studio then thinking, well, maybe I will be able to write one song, three if I'm lucky from this stuff. And then COVID happened, and so I threw myself into creating music from those improvs. And and because COVID was, all I could do was work on music.
Yeah.
So I created an entire album from those improvs by doing an exceptional amount of editing, cutting and pasting, chopping, using drums in all these different ways, and making songs, writing songs from them. So playing with Tony was utterly life changing because his there's when you hear a track with Tony playing, you know immediately it's him.
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah, he just his I remember being in the studio with Dave, the bass player, and I was playing Worley and he was playing bass, and we were waiting for Tony to show up. And when he came into the room, we were all separated because recording, we're in a studio. But we could all see each other.
Mm.
And so Dave and we had this groove going. And then Tony sat down at the drums and he played a fill into what we were playing. And then it was just as if we started levitating.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Oh, I think I could imagine the.
Dave and I just looked at each other and we had to just work to not start crying. It was so profound and absolutely amazing. So yeah, that was a that was an incredible collaboration.
Yeah, that's like working really deeply with somebody in a space that's not always available, right? It's just
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That explains a lot. Yeah, because sometimes you meet people that you have this connection to, and you just can't explain where it came from, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when you're actually getting to know them better, you start realizing that you're actually going into this, in astrology, what we call the eighth house.
Okay. What does that mean?
I think your music is kind of there in the eighth house because it's so deep, and I mean it really is raw and intense, and it goes deep. It's not like it's not surface music, you know.
No, but I want to know what the eighth house means.
In astrology, it's a deep house. It's a house of Scorpio, so it's very deep. It's about death and rebirth. It touches on topics like astrology, sex, all the deep things that's hidden.
Got it.
Yeah. And it's really hard to find somebody that you can meet there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
True.
really hard. It's one sometimes is I don't know what makes it happen, but it does, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it goes more than that. There's more meanings to the eighth house, but yeah. So, is there an artist that you would like to work with that you haven't worked with yet, in particular? If you could pick somebody out in the well, I know there's probably a lot.
I mean, I love Little Sims. She's a rapper from London,
Mm.
incredibly intelligent, amazing lyricist, and I mean she's someone. Yeah.
This is a little bit going a little bit outside of the. I noticed on your website that there's a ventriloquist doll. Um, there's like a ventriloquist doll on the. I don't know if that's a particular is in your imagery there? Because I have a ventriloquist doll, so I was noticing that.
Where is it on the album
It's on your website.
cover? Mm.
There's a guy with a ventriloquist doll. I thought
Oh,
maybe
is it
them.
Hal Wilner?
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe yeah.
Hal, Hal Wilner, he really had a thing with ventriloquist dolls. Yeah, yeah, special person.
Oh
So
yeah,
you like them too?
yeah, 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 yeah. They're in the eighth house.
Okay, I believe you.
So I know you've been making music now for what is it for over 20 years under the name of JOAN as Police Woman. If the version of you from 2024, I think, could hear your music today, what do you think would surprise her the most?
You mean the version of when I started in like 2002?
Yeah.
Okay, what would surprise me the most? You know, I don't I don't I don't really much think about the fu I don't plot things out for the
Hmm.
future. Like people say like, where do you want to be in 5 years? And I just think that that is I
Yeah.
don't think that way. It feels very limiting to me. If I said like this, then I would like potentially, like l lose opportunities. I mean, there are obviously things that I'd like to
Mm,
have, but
yeah.
I also like to keep it really open
Yeah. Yeah.
because in my life, keeping things open have
Yeah.
has created the most amount of opportunity and people and music and life
Yeah.
and love. So, I guess uh I mean I'd be really happy that I had been able to continue making my own music and having it be really well received because
Mhm.
there's no way I would have known that. I do know my intentions are very pure. So I think I would be happy that those intentions were felt by other people that cared about pure intentions.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I mean, you just go with the flow, and that's yeah. It's
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
There's no other way for me. Nothing really makes sense other than that. I know I can control almost nothing. So I want
Mhm.
to try to allow for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just let it. You just let it. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You can't control anything really. I mean, some things happen and then happens. Yeah. So I know you're currently touring with Iggy Pop. What has that experience been like for you?
Complete euphoria.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's absolutely one of the highlights of my life. I
Hmm.
love the Stooges and I love Iggy Pop. And when I got called to do the gig, I was like beside myself with joy. And then the whole band is we all love each other so much, which is really important. Um, there's no duds in the band, as well as
Oh yeah.
the crew and the management and everyone involved it's like a family.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that is so important when you are putting your whole self into something that you really love the people around you and feel like, like we're all doing it together. Because you really can't do it without one person. You can't do it without the monitor guy. You can't do it without the techs. So everyone is working together and there's just a lot of respect and love.
Hmm.
And then on top of it, I get to play some of the most perfectly created music of all time, in my opinion.
Yes.
And and get to be on stage with that legend, backing him up, to spread his music further and further. So, I mean, it is just it's a I don't want to say it's a dream come true because I never had that dream.
Yeah, it's one of
But
those things that just flowed, right? That just came into your life.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
because you let it go and then it just came in.
yeah.
Yeah. So this album that you're releasing on June 12th, I make sure I put it on Reveal, is that correct? Reveal
Yeah.
Records. It's called Real Life Evolution. It's also going to be in, is it a red vinyl?
Red marble. It's
Red
really
marble.
pretty. Yeah,
Mm.
it's really pretty.
And also digital, and people can find it. There's about, I know so far you released I think on the Bandcamp there's about four that's out already. I love Eternal Flame
Thank
particularly.
you. Wait, hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on
Okay.
one second.
There it is. I love that album cover. There's so much
It's
to look at.
based, it's based on a Thelonious Monk cover
Oh,
called
yeah, yeah.
his album called Underground. But this is just my studio. So, you
There's so much
know.
to look at.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how
So much
some
to look
covers they just,
at.
yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah, marble really does change the color. I love the deep red.
Me too. You can also wear it as a hat.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
there you go.
Do you have a favorite track? I know that's all your children, but all the songs in there.
I really love I Defy.
Okay.
I love the way it turned out. It's just delightful. But I do love all the songs. Yeah,
Yes.
I can't lie. They're all pretty special.
And you're gonna be touring them. There's a real life anniversary tour,
Yep.
and this is 20 years of anniversary, which is actually you're going to New York live, right? Coming up next month, June 20th in New
Yeah,
York.
I have four shows in New York City next month, two on June 20th, one on the 21st. Those are all at Joe's Pub, and then a free show in Bryant Park on the 18th.
Okay.
All
And
in June.
and then later in the year, November, you go to London, and then Manchester, Glasgow, Belgium, and then Amsterdam, Germany, Denmark, Hungary, and then all the way to Rome and back to Germany. For this, it's great. Yeah, and then of course and then of course you come home and rest.
Come home and rest, and then go back out in February, and then go back out in
Oh,
April,
you have
and
another
back
tour.
out in
Okay. Oh,
May.
okay.
And yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's great. Do you have anything like, you know how some artists they plan out another collaboration in the future? Anything else coming up?
I'm writing music with a bunch of people for my album, but that will happen a little bit later. Working on that still. Writing songs, making a new album right now. So that'll take a bit, but that's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're looking forward to that.
Great.
Okay. What's
I wish I could play in Hawaii.
yeah. I mean, you've been here how many times? You even had plate lunch, right?
Oh yeah. But I haven't been there recently. So, you know, but I have a bunch of friends that live there now, so we'll see.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe so. Maybe we can make it happen.
Be great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Joan. I really appreciate you spending
Thank
time with
you
me.
too.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to the album release. And if people are watching, please like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, good luck with your future collaborations and albums. And I hope to see you again real soon.
Thank you, me too. Thank you so much for this interview. It's been great.
Thank you.
Yeah. I saw you the morning in the early green, took the back seat and creamed the dream as you has begun. I saw you so early in the whiskey dark, your eyes were bright as black, you were not going back, it was your lips